What are the biggest games coming to PS5 in May? Well, I'm here to answer that very question just for you. Hello there everyone, it's Aiden from Push Square here with the biggest and best games heading to your very own Sony home entertainment system in May of 2024. From long-awaited console remakes to the relaunches of colourful IP beat-em-ups, here are the 10 biggest games heading to PS5 in May, including a sneaky little honorary mention. We're hopefully starting out this month strong with Indica, a very weird looking game indeed. Originally scheduled to launch on PS5 on May 8th, Indica has mysteriously had its release date removed and now just kind of casually says it's coming out in May. Indica has had a rather interesting ad campaign that sort of makes it hard to pin down exactly what it is, but you will be playing as a nun on a journey of self-discovery with the devil by her side. It seems to pair semi-realistic environments and character models with 8-bit video game UI aspects, platforming and a dash of puzzle solving, so yeah, there's a lot going on here. My worry is that there is a lot of style in these trailers that won't necessarily carry over into the moment-to-moment gameplay. Obviously I hope I'm wrong, because otherwise this looks really interesting. I'd love to see more stylistically diverse games cropping up on PS5, so Indica has promised to be just that. Going from one game with a unique sense of identity to the next, Animal Well is an indie platformer sporting a gorgeous lo-fi aesthetic. It's making its way to PS5 on May 9th and will also be available as part of the PS Plus Extra tier. In Animal Well, you play as a small little character that finds themselves in the confines of a strange, mysterious underground world. It's donning this Metroidvania style where you'll find new items and abilities as you try to piece together the otherworldly goings on in its network of caves. This one looks like an absolute vibe. Any trailer that I've watched so far has just kinda left me in this calm trance, so I'll certainly be keen to see if that carries over to the full game, especially since it's dropping on PS Plus Extra. Another indie title making its way to PS5 this month is Crow Country. This is a survival horror experience in the same vein as the original Resident Evil or Silent Hill games. This PS1 inspired outing is set in 1990, where as Mara Forest you venture into the heart of an abandoned theme park to find its mysteriously missing owner, Edward Crow. The art style will probably bring a lot of you back to the heyday of the PS1 with its blocky character designs and pre-rendered backgrounds. If you fancy giving it a go, you can actually try this one out already, as there's a demo available on the PS Store. Crow Country launches on PS4 and 5 on May 9th. All the way back in 2009, PS3 players finally got their hands on Braid, an indie platformer with a stunning art style. 15 years later, PS5 players are getting the Anniversary Edition, which revamps the visuals, upgrades the sound and music, includes 15 hours of developer commentary, and even has new puzzle content exclusive to this Anniversary Edition. But if you do not fancy the new look, then you can actually switch back to the original graphics and sound at the touch of a button. For those that don't know about the game though, in Braids you play as Tim, a dude on a quest to save a princess. You'll be jumping on the heads of enemies and solving a variety of platforming based puzzles. This one was announced ages ago, so I'm sure there are plenty of fans out there counting down the days until its May 14th release on both PS4 and 5. So here is your extra little mention for the month, since it's not actually coming to PlayStation. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is making its way to PC on May 16th. It joins the likes of Returnal, Horizon Forbidden West and The Last of Us Part 1 in their journey to this other platform, bringing with it enhancements like ultra-wide support and maxed out graphical options. Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful open world experience that really focuses on the cinematic feel of it all. It's scaling back the UI whenever it can and constantly makes you feel like this incredibly cool and deadly samurai. I recently completed the game and was kind of blown away by the story, which isn't something I think a lot of open world games get entirely right, but this one is definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Read-only memories Neuro Diver thrust players back to Neo San Francisco, where as psychic agent Luna Cruz de la Vega, you are tasked with hunting down a rogue psychic that is hiding in the memories of others. You'll then be diving into said memories of various characters to root out the rogue psychic and stop them from destroying their hosts. It's a pretty damn cool concept for this sci-fi entry, not too unfamiliar for those that played 2064, this game's predecessor. Set a few years down the line, albeit with a brand new story, Neuro Diver is a love letter to the classic Japanese adventure games, with a cozy synth score and a vibrant retro visual style. You can pick it up on PS5 on May 16th. As I was working my way through the trailers of this month's releases, none quite stopped me in my tracks quite like Paper Trail. This is a top-down puzzle platformer where a central paper mechanic means you'll be folding and tearing your way through its wonderfully subdued world. You play as the budding academic Paige, leaving their home in pursuit of their studies. It's telling a tale of bravery and realising your dreams, which couples up brilliantly with the incredibly calming nature of the gameplay already shown. Developer Newfangled Games has perfected the vibes of this paper adventure. It's coming to PS4 and 5 on May 21st, and if I had one concern, it would be over how well the game controls on console. This one has already been released on the Netflix mobile app, with its touchscreen controls being kinda paramount to the whole folding thing, but I'm sure it will still be fun on controller. It's just something to consider. Easily my most anticipated game of the month, the System Shock remake is finally making its way to PS4 and 5 on May 21st. This is the 1994 classic made from the ground up with completely reworked gameplay and visuals. It's developed by industry veterans that worked on the likes of Fallout New Vegas, Mass Effect and Bioshock, and was even developed in collaboration with some of the original developers of System Shock 1 to ensure that it was as true to the original as possible. As someone that wasn't even born when the original came out, this is a pretty exciting opportunity to experience a story and setting that inspired an entire genre. It also launched on PC last year to some pretty decent reviews, so we know that us PlayStation players are in store for a fantastic experience. Until Then is probably the most interesting looking release of the month for me, with this pixelated style telling a tale of connecting with others via the means of messaging, social media and online web pages. You play as Mark, a young lad living through the joys and woes of another year at high school, and you'll grow or destroy relationships with friends as you practice piano, race to meet homework deadlines and reminisce about the daily insecurities of high school life. Isn't it just the best time of your life? But there is more to it, as the world is still recovering from a recent tragedy and Mark's life is upended. You'll unravel the mysteries surrounding you whilst exploring the depths of social media and traversing landscapes inspired by the Philippines. It's heading to PS5 on May 23rd. May 28th will see the PS4 and 5 return of Multiverses, a Super Smash Bros.-like fighter drawing from the expansive Warner Bros. Catalogue of characters. This was actually available for quite a while, last year I believe, and was rather unceremoniously removed from the PlayStation Store. But of course that was the alpha phase of the game, and now we're getting the full release. In this game you're going to be battling 1v1 or 2v2 or 4-player free-for-all battles, picking out characters like Batman, Bugs Bunny, Arya Stark and Shaggy to name a few. There will actually be customizable perk loadouts for each character, so there's gonna be a degree of finding the right way to play for you, as well as synergizing with your teammate. It's launching with full crossplay too, so you can square off against your friends on other platforms. Coming in just at the very end of the month is Formula 1 24, the latest yearly entry in this speedy yet tactical racer. As you would expect, there are a number of gameplay changes, from upgraded suspension models to aerodynamics that make it as immersive and realistic a Formula 1 simulator as possible. For those that love the Breaking Point campaigns, Formula 1 24 is getting its most substantial career mode update in years. Of course, you can play the campaign as an unknown up-and-comer, as is usually the case, but you'll also be able to play as Formula 1 legends such as Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher. My favourite new campaign feature though has to be the secret meetings that you can take part in to try and secure the best seats in rival teams. So that's it for me in 2024. It really is the month of the indie, but there are some really interesting picks in there. Let me know if any of these games tickled your fancy down in the comments below, and while you're there, leave a like to help out with the old algo and subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content. Anyway, until next time, I've been Aiden and this has been Push Square.